Gibby, what do you got for us?
You could let's be clear about this.
You lost to $2,000. Welcome back to Gus and Gawny. Close to episode 6, I think, this year.
Would be nearly 50 overall.
Be close to 50 overall. It was a bit grim there in 2020 when we were in the hub
With Rick Lever?
with Rick Lever.
Yep.
We had to spit one out every 4 days with the 4-day breaks.
Yeah, high volume.
We had some good guests though. We got some past players in. That's when we thought talking to the fans was a good idea. That sort of went out the window when James Plunkett said I didn't follow him on Twitter.
Yeah. Did you get him?
I think I ended up following him.
How's his content?
I know he's a loyal listener, so if I didn't follow you, can you let me know? But
Yeah, I'll have a look on the socials after this one. But we've got a big guest this week. Not physically in stature, but in terms of potentially career achievements.
in terms of records,
Yeah, we've got the biggest and the baddest, Jake Bowey. Thank you very much for coming on, mate.
No worries, just happy to be here.
Well, let me start by saying this.
you just jack up the decibels.
3 Sandringham Dragons in the room at the table.
How good is that? And Melbourne Football Club's been a Sandy Dragon sort of place. We've had the Dawses, the Salems, the Hunts, the Mosses. But the best thing about
The Langdons.
is he's the only public school boy that's come for
Wow.
as well as myself.
Yeah, your good self joining the ranks. Wow, that's funny. So here's what else I forget. You're only a couple of years out of the Dragon system. It seems like he's had the career of like a 10-year player with his achievements so far. And to name I'd say the 3 biggest ones: undefeated, in no order, obviously, undefeated,
10 games,
grand
10
final,
wins.
and 2 Rising Star noms. Probably going to win it this year.
If you were to order them, how would you order them?
Premiership 1,
Good answer.
Good answer. Tick.
undefeated 2,
Oh, great answer.
Yeah.
and 2
The Rising Star noms. Which Rising Star nom was better from your perspective?
probably last round.
Yeah, 34.
Now all of us are out of the room and it's just you. How would you rank them?
Same.
We talked about how there's a few 2-time Rising Star winners within
Nominate. Yeah.
last year. I think there's been 5, and I named them. And do you know on Twitter there's the guy called Sir Swamp? You'd be all over him, Gibby.
I have no idea.
He tweeted it, and I reckon he's taken that straight off the podcast.
There you go.
Because that's my stat. So you got your Bleezers, your Gisberts, your Joneses, your Hogans.
Yep.
Oh no, not Hogan. Who's the 4th? Your Jackson, and now Bowie. So you're
Sir
doing
Swamp.
It's an elite group.
an elite group. There will actually be a function this year.
Really?
I dare say. So you'll have to go to a function.
5 people.
Have you got a +1?
Probably not.
You're not holding hands with anyone?
No.
There you go.
That's it. I mean, it's good to get.
Good
that
to
out of
know.
the way. It's good to get that.
We've got a lot of listeners, Bows, so it's interesting. We talk a lot about, and obviously you've had an amazing start to your career. Did you, in your wildest dreams, ever sort of see it starting like this?
Well, not really. On draft night, I was a bit happy because obviously they weren't going Melbourne wasn't going as well, and Dad said, "Oh, you might play a couple games," and then round 20, and I still haven't played a game, and come in and 10-0.
Speaking of your dad, played some footy.
Yeah.
Who for?
The Saints,
How many?
85.
Well, thank God. He's 15 short of a
15
father-son.
short of the father-son. And he ended up being friends with Plugger. Is that right?
Yeah, good mates.
Did you know? Did I say this on the podcast last week?
I reckon you did, but did you know?
Yeah, well, he invited him.
Oh, you invited him. You're on that level with him.
Jake doesn't know him.
Okay. That's
spoke to
Plugger. We're talking about Plugger.
I spoke to him once.
You've spoken to him once.
On the phone.
And he's come to watch you play.
Yeah.
And you've spoken to him once.
Yep.
That's a fair. I don't think he likes his teammates as much as that.
Your sister's also a VFL player.
Yeah, what's happening there?
Played a couple games this year. Best on ground.
for?
Collingwood VFL. So just across the road.
Interesting.
She was pretty good on
What sort of plays she, the slick ball user like yourself, coming out of the back half? Or?
Actually, Wingers Club.
Wow. Well, good on her.
So
If you're listening, that's unreal. You know what? We actually had this. That's a good. I'm just going to jump in there because Goody tried to kick me out of Wingers Club, but I've got life membership. It was decided because you win a flag there in the Wingers Club,
actually, good point.
then you're there for life. So I've got my my men's department pants at the moment playing in the back line, but I've also got the premiership rubber stamped Wingers Club for life. So that's good to hear. She must be a weapon.
Do you know what threw me a lot?
Go on.
You and Langer's on the same wing.
Well, no coincidence he's had his best game in a while because I had a lot of sympathy for the struggles of what Lingers goes through. So you would have seen a few 3 metre kicks to each other and 1-2s and things of that nature.
Yeah, we'll get to you later. You're actually the guest later in the show. The men's club, do you like it? Have you always been a defender?
No.
What were you growing up?
Mid-forward.
Mid-forward.
Actually a winger at Dragons.
Maybe that's
Then
why we
went
get along
forward.
so well.
And then, first year went back.
Were you day one backman?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I'm interested because, as we sort of touched on, you've had an incredible start, but those first 20 rounds, as a young player, what was your mindset there? Was it frustrating that you weren't getting games? Obviously, we were winning a lot, so were you just trying to learn as much? Like, we've had some young fellas come in and say, you're just trying to learn and take it all in, or were you super driven to play?
That's a great question.
Well, early I was a bit like daunting, like coming into an AFL club, seeing new blokes every day. But yeah, I was just happy to play in the VFL with like Nev Jetta, Jonesy, Melky, like good talent. And then, yeah, I think Port Adelaide game, Salo went down and I hurt my ankle at the VFL game, so I was pretty shattered. Like, so there's some word about me playing and then missed out. And then, yeah, I sort of thought, might be my turn next year. Sort of almost turned the page. And then, got the call up.
Was it Hunty and West Coast? Is that what it was?
Pig at Gold Coast.
Pig at Gold Coast. There was a bizarre debut story.
It was
Bowser, not sure if we did a potty. We would have done a potty. Obviously, we did one every week. Post where we stayed on the plane for 9 hours, then played Gold Coast the following day.
Yeah, we must have spoken of that. Must have come up in the
Well, that was
weekly.
Bowser's debut. Imagine what were you thinking?
Well, yeah, when they made that announcement on the plane, I was pretty shattered. And Chappie came up and said, "Keep your head up, mate. There's still a chance we'll play in front of no crowd." And then they said
Exactly what you want to hear. isn't it?
another announcement will be returning to Melbourne in 4 hours, and you'll play at 10:40 at Marvel in front of no one. So.
And then your second game is a Lightning game where you get called off.
Wow, that was
An hour
insane as
quarter.
well.
It's a phenomenal start to a football
Isn't it?
week.
My God.
And spending 7 days in a Perth hub in between those games.
It would be easy for the next question to be, and what the difference between the AFL and VFL, what have you noticed? But you wouldn't have had a normal AFL game, really. I mean, because after the West Coast game, we come back and then it's almost the finals, which is another level up. So, I mean, it's incredible. And a credit to you, you've come in and performed under some really intense, pressures. And how was that finals experience for you? Because that's the second time we've played finals, so we're not exactly seasoned veterans, but young player, third or fourth game in front of a crowd in Adelaide Oval for a qualifying final. Like, how's that? Like, is it just, are you just pinching yourself the whole time?
Yeah, that was probably the most nervous I've been. Like, Brisbane a pretty good forward line, so I was like, there's not like anyone my height, so I had to play a bit taller. And I was on Zach Bailey and he was giving me a fair bit. So it was the first time I'd actually received some. So it was a bit shaky.
Zach Bailey can play.
Yeah.
I'd be nervous lining up on Zach Bailey in the first final.
Yeah, well, I mean.
And then Danaher threw me to the ground. That was that game.
Yeah.
Because I got stuck in Zach Bailey and copped it back. So.
Yeah.
But
and then prelim, who'd you play on?
Grime Myers.
Yeah.
So I was a bit more confident.
He's a good,
Bit more
Same
size.
height, yeah.
And then Granny Waitman, a little bit.
Yeah, Trelaw, Waitman. Bit deeper because Bonton, Bailey Smith are a bit bigger. So
Yeah, and Waitman's more your age.
yeah,
What's he, a year older?
you're older, yeah.
Incredible. And has your mindset changed coming in your second year? Because obviously now you've got a bit more experience and I dare say a bit more settled in that unit. How have you had your pre-season and have you changed anything up, or is it more the still just here to learn and lock down a spot sort of thing?
Great question again.
Start of the year was play round one, and just sort of hold my spot, but also perform as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think Chappie and Goody said in my exit interview, like, don't get the second year blues. Like, don't just come in and think you're going to play every game. But that was sort of my mindset.
Gus had
training.
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah.
Oh no, I had you'd remember fondly that knee that I nearly snapped in half at Elizabeth up against Port Adelaide in the first centre bounce in my second game. Missed 8 weeks.
Yeah.
You beauty.
You rested on your laurels, didn't you?
Straight back on my laurels, and that's what happens. It's a warning for everyone out there.
How have you managed to avoid getting injured? Every back seems to have gone down.
Sorry,
touch wood. That's a shocking question.
And I've had some good ones, as you've been pointing out. Rewind the tape and you'll hear, oh, gee, that's a good question, Gus. And that's a terrible turn. That's really bad for me. So how have you avoided injury?
He's
My
the
God.
senior defender. He's more senior than you.
Absolutely he is. No, don't worry. I'm very much in my place. How have you avoided injury, Bowey? Everyone wants to know all of a sudden.
I actually did see a funny comment about me. So apparently if you're smaller, it's harder for you to get injured because you're more compact.
Oh, there you go.
So maybe...
So you got no chance of getting injured.
Yeah.
Well, that's what that doesn't make sense because Hibbard's about as compact as they get. And he's gone down. Maisie too. Maisie's not...
Yeah.
How have you dealt with Maisie? Because I As a young player, I can.
You've got a spring in your step, don't you? This is amazing.
What are you talking
The
about?
best mood I've ever seen you in. Continue though.
So a young.
Stefan's had to turn down the volume 6 times.
All right, you're a
Sorry,
hero.
no, I'm not bringing you down.
So now, Jake. So you're a young player, Stephen May, who's a big, bad, angry sort of bloke, and gets. Let's get it out there for everyone who's watched Melbourne and doesn't know that Steve May gets frustrated. I'm not sure which one.
He was grumpy on the weekend.
How does Jake Bowey, in his 3rd, 4th, 10th now game, look at a bloke like Stephen May? Like I am sometimes scared of him. How do you go working with him? And I'm a drop-in at the moment in the men's department, but you are a resident. How do you deal with him? Like sometimes just give him the thumbs up, smile and wave. Have you got any tips, any Stephen May tricks?
It's little words like don't say too much.
Sure.
Yep.
I think it's just a head nod and a thumbs up. Yeah, it's just like let's go,
You
Maisie.
lock eyes for too long, just
Yeah. And then probably kick it to him a couple of times. Just keep him happy.
smart.
I noticed he gave me a blast for not kicking it to him. So that's going to be something there.
10 from 10.
Undefeated.
A little bit of a lucky charm for us.
Yeah.
The record, and funny enough that Jake knows this, the record is apparently from debut is 18.
You're kidding.
Yeah. 18 wins on the trot from debut.
So I can't imagine it's 18 in a row. It must be like 5 dropped, back in, another couple dropped.
So are you implying that he's probably got the record already?
I'm thinking, that's what I'm saying. I think you've got to have the record consecutive wins.
Well, we'll put it out there.
Swamp will probably tweet it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swampy's
on you, Swampy.
obviously a listener.
Dog.
We'll put it out there. Can we work out what the record...
Yeah,
We're not getting ahead of ourselves, obviously. We just want 11 wins.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's not to say that we're not going to continue to try and win. I'm just saying we've got the record already. Let's celebrate.
Funny how we have to explain ourselves there.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
people
don't worry.
honestly think that we're thinking about... What is 9 games time? Who do we play? I don't know. Gibby's going to look.
Gibby
Don't you know the fixture off by heart? Actually, no. You know Delta's concert
Yeah,
tour.
guys.
Sorry. where is she playing next?
Unreal.
Gibby chose
Yeah,
Delta.
I actually watched that episode. So
Oh, did you?
Watched it because we've got a vlog.
on
What is
YouTube.
it? A vlog.
All right.
Vidcast.
I want to talk about shoes.
Sure. Wow.
Seems like a hobby. Is it a hobby? Is shoe collecting a hobby?
Yeah. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Big
sneakerhead.
Yeah.
sneakerhead.
You're a sneakerhead.
I wouldn't say I'm a Christian Petrarca, but
Christian
I'd say you
Petrarca.
have as many as him.
well, he did get rid of a few boxes at training a couple of weeks ago.
Did you? This is the mark of Christian Petrarca and the person he is. I would never think to do this because so he's brought all his secondhand shoes and clothes that he doesn't wear anymore, sent a group message and said, anyone who wants some of my clothes, I'm going to leave it in the morning in the change rooms.
Keep in mind he is a size 13.
Do you have any confidence in the clothes that you wear thinking, oh, I'm going to stop wearing this T-shirt. Maybe one of the boys might wear it.
He would have a surplus. That is incredible.
But to be fair, they all got snapped up. So he does have great fashion and Bowser took a couple of pairs of shoes, maybe a bit too big.
Yeah, probably fit 2 feet in one shoe. But
He's got a club foot.
How many shoes do you have, do you reckon?
This is going to be an impressive number. You've really pumped him up here.
Yeah, I saw a Snapchat the other day. Or was it Insta?
probably about 30.
Yeah, okay.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
I have 8.
I've got, geez. Do you count Crocs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have a pair of nice shoes?
Yeah.
How many pairs of golf shoes?
I've got a lot of golf shoes.
Yeah.
That counts.
Why do you
Okay.
need more than one pair of golf shoes?
Because I got a little bit excited one day and went on a spree. I got a lot of shoes.
Different colours.
Yeah, sure, different colours.
Bowser plays golf.
Doesn't he
Takes
just?
me back to his first day. We were trying to organise the golf day and go around asking for handicaps, and he said 17 or 16 or whatever he said. I go, oh, where do you play? He goes, Elstonwick.
Royal.
Royal. Which is...
You can't get a handicap at Elstonwick, can you? It's a pitch and putt. That's not a course anymore.
I think it's half golf course, half goat farm. They just let the goats out
It's a
there.
nature reserve now.
They've actually scrapped the entire thing.
Being off 15 around Elstonwick has been off 30 around Royal.
Well, no, I've taken him, the young fella, out, and he performs on the big
How'd he
stage
go?
too, which is good to see. What'd you have? 32 points?
32.
Choked though, got to 16
Yeah,
and then just hit the
got a bit.
wall. Yeah, got the jitters because there was a good round in his hands, but he got a really nice looking swing, reproducible, and can really work the ball left to right, which I like, and putts well, which you need to be able to do.
Another thing I want to bring up is his Instagram game.
Yeah, look, I think that this is a bone we could probably pick, and what I would say before we get too far into this is that we are a different generation.
And we also are a positive podcast.
Yeah. So we love what he's doing.
We love what he's doing.
We love what you're doing, mate.
I think I've toned it down.
Have you?
The mirror selfies, love them.
Yeah, I love you put the phone on your hip. That's where he takes the selfie. He puts the phone on his hip.
Which I love. Love it.
Yep. For those, give it a little plug. Jake Bowey, is it? At
just Jake Bowey.
Jakey Bowey?
I did just Jake Bowey.
Yeah.
But I did lose it over Christmas.
Did you?
Oh, you got hacked?
Got hacked.
Welcome to the club.
Christmas Day.
Wow. Mine was over Christmas as well. Was yours a Turkish gentleman or?
I think it was from, actually,
Far out. We've been stitched here. The same bloke.
$1,500 he wanted.
And
there you go.
Our loyal listeners and Melbourne supporters, they love a nickname. They love getting behind a nickname. Do you have a preferred nickname that you'd like? Is it Bowser?
Bowser's, yeah.
Bowser's perfect.
You get a bit of horse, don't you?
Yeah. Tomo loves calling me a horse.
Tommy loves calling you a horse.
Sure why.
Yeah, I'm not
Just a workhorse.
yeah, workhorse, I think.
Speaking of plugs, you got a small business that we can get around? Anything for off the boys?
Probably old man's business.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, what's he do?
Green zone termite barrier.
Yep.
Termites.
Can we get like a pay for 100 termites?
Get
Go on,
100.
get 100.
How much is it like on a per termite basis, or you just need your house done and you just kill
So
all?
he has this like plastic stuff and you put it around your pipes, like pre-construction.
How do you kill them? So you poison them?
If you've got them, you spray them. But to prevent,
It's preventative.
Apparently, you got to be in an area.
Okay.
They're in certain postcodes. So
I got told I'm on the market for a house, and I got told that they live near train stations. Is that right? Like train lines, houses.
That's a really
there's
bad.
a lot
Does
of
your
wood.
dad go to a lot of train lines, houses that are near
He
train
actually
lines?
doesn't treat them. He sits in the office.
Oh,
so
he's,
sort of
he's right up the
answers
top.
the
So
calls,
we'll
right.
get Sparrows on it. But I get the sense
apologise,
like you
Mr.
want to
Bowey.
do 10 pipes, get 10% off your 11th pipe. I don't know how
Can we
many
can
pipes are in a
arrange
house.
something like
though.
that?
Yeah, definitely.
And what was the business called again?
Green zone termite barrier.
Green zone termite barriers.
Green Zone.
Write that down. Sparrows will love that.
Otherwise known as GZT.
Has to be. GZTB.
GZTB.
Yeah, something like that.
Fun fact.
This will be good.
Do you guys play Wordle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost me 101 streak today.
Really? I got it in 3.
Oh, Jesus.
How's that make you feel?
How did you... Which,
Actually,
we
haven't
can't,
done it yet.
we can't crush it. Oh, no, because this is out tomorrow, so we can.
I went water. I'll find it up. I'll get it up right now. We can
So
cut
I got STAW on my third go and couldn't get and buzzed out.
that's not
So
good.
SHAW. So I tried Shorm, Short, and it was Shawl.
I went water, swamp, shawl.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm a freak.
So you just spoiled it.
Anyway, so you've got it today. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You can keep your streak.
So you got to keep playing now?
I don't know. I said after I get out, that'll be my last one. I
feel like
wanted to cheat so bad.
I feel like if you get it first go, I think that's when you give up.
Yeah, it's like
Retire.
getting a hole in one in golf.
Yeah.
You have a hole in one? Okay, that's right. You got anything else for Bowers? This has been a great chat.
No, we've gone 16, 17 minutes.
And it's all good stuff too. So,
Look, hopefully the streak keeps going.
Hopefully.
and hopefully if you've got any termite issues, you give Bowers' old man a call.
And I'm especially proud of you. I know we're both Dragon boys, but Angus, you don't understand what it's like when the privates went out and played private school footy.
And I went to
Myself
Sandy
and Jake had to play with the tradies, the guys that didn't even go to school anymore.
So I went to Sandringham East Primary School, which is nice and public in the beginning. But then I had a year as well in under 18s where I wasn't at school for my 18th
So you
year.
had to play with the publics.
Yeah, I'm one of you. I'm one of you guys. I'm on your team.
How bad is it?
Yeah,
Oh, nah, what do you mean, mate? I love getting involved with
It's a great culture with the publics.
Yeah, we lost by 80 every game.
And we've got a great culture here. Bowers, thanks very much for coming on. It's been an incredible chat. This has been one of our better ones, I
Yeah,
reckon.
Bowser, he likes to be called.
Bowers.
Thanks, Bowser.
Thanks for
Thanks,
having me.
Alex, mate.
Good chat.
Now, Gus, we all know the team at Zurich Insurance are proud sponsors of the Gus and Gawny podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Huge supporters of the pod. I think they were our first sponsor and certainly our first platinum partner, which is a huge result.
Yes, and they've also been on board as a co-principal partner of the club since 2018 and have been protecting Australia for over 100 years.
That's right. They provide insurance for individuals and families, plus businesses large and small.
Now, Gussie, we know you're a big fan of protection, rocking your helmet at every chance you get, so this is very on brand for you.
You're absolutely right. To see how Zurich can support you, head to zurich.com.au or contact your financial advisor or broker.
Welcome back to Gus and Gawny. Obviously, thanks to a few of our favourite partners. Firstly, Zurich.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt the inclination to get some insurance the other week and instantly thought of Zurich. So that's a good brand recognition there.
Second is Sporting Globe come on recently this year.
And come on, they've come
They weren't
hard.
there in the hard times for us, but they're definitely going to enjoy the fun times.
Oh, God, yeah.
Sporting Globe, there's one in every town, so if you want to go.
Green Zone Termite Barrier. That's
They're new, which is exciting.
That's a new one.
Spargs is already dealing with Mr. Bowie,
He's working angles there.
which is exciting.
We'll get that up and going. And then obviously, your staples, East End Wine Bar,
Fat Nut Customs,
Fat Nut Customs,
squash, and so on.
Clutch and Co. Barbie
Barbie
Onions
Onions
is
is
dead.
And let's welcome in Gibby.
Gibby, good to have you, mate.
Great to be here. Strong start from both of you. Gus in particular.
I've really
On
brought the
fire.
gusto. I've really got my gusto going.
Yeah, we've got to be careful with not stealing the whole Hamish and Andy podcast.
The
But
whole template.
Potentially on the back of his form on field. So became the 18th person to ever take 20 marks in a game. First since Nick Rewalt in 2016, who took 20,
Similar players.
21.
Similar players.
very similar positions.
He kicked 9 that day.
And that's a fair effort from him as well. What would you? I think you'd rather 9 goals than 20 marks, though, wouldn't you?
How many contested?
2.
2.
I reckon that
18
I remember.
uncontested marks.
Maybe 3.
Now, I don't want to put any water on this, but I will.
Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Did you get a lot from Maisie from fullback?
I got a few from Steve out of full back.
Okay.
But we'd seen that Essendon pull back on, and
You still got to do it.
Yeah, so we've still got to take the
I remember there
marks.
was a day I had 70 hitouts. Sorry to make it about me, but I had 70 hitouts in the VFL against Bendigo, but the Bendigo ruckman was Gibby size.
Yeah.
And Roosie in his press conference got asked, Max Gawn's in form, I see he had 70 hitouts in the VFL, will he be a chance? And Roosie said, I could have got 70 hitouts against the guy he was playing.
Yep.
So I don't want to shut it down straight away, because right now you're up here, so let's leave you up there. Beautiful game.
Thanks, mate.
Beautiful game.
Unreal from you. Yeah, thanks, mate. No, it was good. Good team performance. The men's department.
You're better than that.
Men's department stood up. What a few other cliches I got for you. Just got to keep stay in the moment, stay positive, focus on next week.
Yep.
Things of that nature.
One thing I did notice pre-game, so Max is always fantastic with the fans. He gets to them, takes photos, always got time for them. There's one bloke came down the race at the MCC, got his photo with you, you walk down, he walks off and pulls out his Essendon scarf.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, stitched you up big time.
Oh.
So he probably won't be listening.
Well, can I make it clear, and I think we've made this clear, it is not Gus and Gawny in the flesh.
No, absolutely not.
It is Gibby in the
Categorically
flesh.
not.
It's
We-
not Gus and Gawny.
Yeah, we are, for all intents and purposes.
No Sporting Globe voucher with
No,
us.
you
It's
will be
Wild
banned.
Sun or Gibby in the
We've
flesh.
put a blacklist together at the Sporting Globe, and your name will go straight to the
You
top.
won't be allowed in.
I want to make another, just before we get too far away from that, just another clarification. Sure, see positive lingers in the flesh. You see Gibbo, Wild Gibbo, or whatever we've assigned the names to. We're going to need photos because I've got this little anecdote here.
Yeah.
I was working, this is from James Smith, Smithstagram.
Yep.
I was working at the
It's
international.
Not someone related to Gibby this time that you didn't know.
No. I was working at the International Flower and Garden Show on Friday afternoon, approximately 1:30 p.m, 6 hours before kickoff.
Yep.
When Positive Lingers walked past Solo, admiring all the floral displays.
This is beautiful.
He stood out as he brought the average age down by about 30 years. Positive vibes all round for the hipster. Green thumb. It's no wonder he went on to kick goal of the year and get 31 touches. So,
A photo would have been, you could have had all 10 vouchers.
Smithstagram, what you've done is, and great, thanks for sending it in. Love the story. You've missed out on a real Sporting Globe extravaganza. We would have probably given you. How many have we got left?
Still got all 10.
We've got all 10. Well, you would have taken the big majority of those. We need photos because if I've got a photo of Lingers at a flower extravaganza, whatever the hell it is.
We're going to have to find one in Adelaide for him to continue that form.
Exactly. We haven't got any more of Gibby in the flesh. It's Gibby in the flesh, isn't it?
Yep.
Yesterday, I was walking down Sorrento and a bloke walked past, said, "Go D's to me." And I kept walking. I said to my girlfriend, why would you have the guts to say go D's and not then follow up and get yourself a free $200
Maybe
Sporting
he's
Globe
a.
voucher? Maybe
and
he's
there's
just
very few of these people. I think
Yeah.
there's maybe you count on one hand, but maybe there's some non-Gus and Gawny listeners who listen to Talking Points.
Yeah, they're like white rhinos. There's 3 in them. They're all dead. 3 left alive. One's in captivity, and then that's weird. Yeah, maybe he's a talking point. It could be a Bill and what do you guys call Bill and Ben?
Bill and Ben.
Pop man.
Bill and Ben.
So that could be it. But no, so you've not noticed any uptake in that?
Well, there was
concept
some
we're talking
people, we were speaking before the podcast, some people asking on game day for photos. I said
count.
to him, didn't count. Gawny thought potentially it could, but
about. That feels like
I think
it's
it's
in
too
captivity.
easy.
Yeah,
No, but
Gibby in
that's
captivity.
a wild son. Then
Sure.
Gibby in the flesh. He's in the flesh at all times.
Yes, that is a great point. You're always in the flesh.
Yeah.
You're never not in the flesh. whereas Son needs to be wild. Is there a more wild scenario than like a flower show?
How is he not taking a photo?
I can't understand that. Schmitzstagram, you're better than that.
Come on, Smits.
You guys spoke about earlier in the year, you spoke to Dunkley after the game about his podcast. Did you mention Rish and Rath?
I missed Rish and Rath. Did you get a little speak to Rish and Rath?
I say I don't even know what that is.
We've talked about Rish and Rath.
Rish and Rath.
That's the Essendon Boys podcast. They've started one.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, you haven't listened?
Rish and Rath. Who even that is that?
haven't
Parish.
listened.
No, I do remember Parish and McGrath. You have
I
to say
feel for them
McGrath.
because we tried to start a podcast in 2020, and I get we tried to start it with Rick, but we're also losing as well.
Yeah.
It can be hard to get it off the ground.
In terms of news, Rick Lever should be available for selection this Thursday night, which
What was wrong with him?
foot.
Foot.
He had like I don't know how far in we can go to depth. He had something like with his plantar fascia or his nerve or something down there.
Yep.
And Ben Brown also comes
Is
out.
COVID still funny, mate?
Oh, Max Gawn, you're a funny man and you're pretty much always spot on, but that's still the worst take. Russia's invaded Ukraine and you've still made a worse take of 2022.
Ben Brown, health and safety protocols obviously missed. He comes out of isolation on Thursday. So the team flies up Wednesday. I don't know whether he's going to fly up Thursday afternoon and get there in time for the game.
Not coming on my plane.
So that's the update we've got.
No, look, I think if he's fit and ready to go and done 7 days of training on a treadmill and put his hand up, I'm more than happy for him to play. I'm presuming.
So let's project forward because you
back
love,
to our
you
team
love
selection
team
segment.
selecting.
Yeah.
Who are you dropping? The freshly minted 50 gamer, Sam
Myself.
Wiedemann. Yeah, fair enough too.
Jacko on the rock.
Don't mind it.
Don't mind it.
Selfless. That's leadership. Selfless. Delegating.
You're going to Adelaide for the 4 days.
Are you?
Yeah.
Or was it?
And
No
for
concerts.
any Gus and Gawny, there might be a chance to go Friday night.
I'm sure she's doing a
If she's doing
nationwide
a Friday night,
She
I'll
wouldn't go to Adelaide, would she?
I'm not sure.
City of churches. What if she's religious?
Gus and Gawny listeners who love the club and love both programs of the AFL men's and the AFLW, it's a chance to be able to go to the City of Churches for 4 days or 3 days. We're going for 4 because we have to go Wednesday night, but
Yep.
not everyone has to come the night before the men's game.
Come to
You don't.
captain's run.
Come for the captain's run if they want. But Adelaide Oval, Port Adelaide, they normally pack it out, never tear us apart before the game. It's one of the best atmospheres that I play
Yeah.
in front of, definitely.
Agreed.
And then to back that up with I think it's a 30-degree grand final in the middle of the day, so grim for the girls, but great for a supporter.
Oh, God, yeah.
It could be a really, really good weekend for the club. So those that do want to fly over, Gibby will be there. There's a chance to get a Gibby in the flesh.
Give me in the flesh. You might
Over,
catch a
you could get
wild soon.
$200 Sporting Globe voucher. Could be worth it.
wow.
Pay for your flights.
And we had Zhang on last week.
We did.
She went okay.
Happy with,
obviously got over the line.
Yeah, I think that's I'm not going to take all the credit, but certainly you in particular, impart your prelim knowledge on them. Sorry to make it about you. I know you hate it.
In the end, team performance in finals, team performance in any game, team performance in finals is more important. You walk off the ground with one handball, but if you won a final, you're the happiest person in the world. Yes, I was able to kick 5, but I still would have been happy with one handball.
Sure. Yeah. So we've loved that. Can we get probably too late to get a guest on? We can't do a special AFL grand final.
Well, can they talk to the cup?
They could.
Wow.
Lou and Ben with the cup.
The flower pot man.
I'll grab the cup.
70,000 clicks, you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt at all.
Speaking of, we're going to segue because did you say something about a Sporting Globe voucher for whoever catches you in the flesh? We were offered a Sporting Globe voucher. We've got and this is this is
a real wake-up call of how we do our marketing.
Yeah, we've missed. This is a miss for the marketing department. Yeah.
We got a lot of people wanting free vouchers, but
Great idea.
no one wanted to follow us.
Theory was great. So for those who are on our socials, we're the Brains Trust here at Gus and Gawny social media HQ got together last week, which is us. You got involved.
Yeah, I was there.
And Gibby and Steph
I don't have
worked on
access
this.
to that account, unfortunately.
That's all right. It will stay that way. But we were we were talking about because we were closing in on the K. I think last time we spoke, we were on 9,700 followers, and we're looking for the 10K to really validate ourselves as a social media presence.
How many did we get with that promotion?
So for those who don't know about the promotion and maybe you're interested, with the magical 10K coming up, you've got to follow the Insta page. Then we'll scroll through randomly, comment a mate's name, and then we'll pick one out.
But they have to follow. The mate
They
has
have to follow. So we got 1,500 likes. That's a lot. If everyone who liked it followed, we would have got there.
Yep.
Then we had 703 comments. A lot of people looking for a free voucher. Notable commenters were Max Gawn commented Ben Gibson.
Yep.
Angus Brayshaw commented Nana Gibby.
Yep.
Jimmy Plunkett, your mate, has commented about 5 times here. So he's obviously still keen on the podcast.
Anything
You must
funny?
have followed him back. No, none particularly funny. Steph, you got in there. And Kay Chandler, a friend of the podcast, the Newshound, wanted to get involved. But despite all the likes and comments, we only got 100, only got 100 extra followers. So we can't do the giveaway until we hit that K.
So is it and we love our friends at the Sporting Globe, but is it the carrot? Do people want more? People want $400.
Maybe a voucher for you and for your mate, potentially.
Maybe what we were in the pipelines is potentially all four of us start a new business.
Oh, we did speak about this.
So our head of everything in Stefan, who basically runs the podcast, has been asked, he's great with a camera, and he's been asked to do a few weddings recently. And then it just popped up in my mind that we've got a great photographer, we've got a great videographer, and we've got 2 quality MCs.
Yeah.
Do we throw out a package?
And that, not only would it work from that side of things, obviously that's a business, but we know that our podcast thrives on having small business sponsors. So we could genuinely have like a sponsorship package put together where if you do like 50 weddings.
If we sponsor our own podcast somehow?
We'll have to look through the legalities of it, but that's it. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess there's 2 things that'll come out of this chat. First of all, we're going to have to re-go with the 10K, which will be embarrassing because I've already got this big 10K in gold letters smack bang in the middle of our page. So I'm going to have to do that again. We're going to have to get that going. Unfortunately, we can't do the giveaway until we hit 10K. And let's just spitball. We'll put a canvas up and just canvas a few things in terms of the wedding business. And I'm sure we've got some potential customers listening. If they would be something you're interested in, then because Steph's pretty keen on getting out of this racket and wants a new sort of life. And if that's something that you'd be interested in, then send something through the podcast.
One thing that did come from that 10K post was that Max Gorn followed me on Instagram.
Yeah,
I consider us friends.
Do I follow you?
I'm not sure.
Keep talking.
I didn't follow Gibby. I follow him on TikTok and not Instagram.
So a big moment in our friendship.
And Gibby's
I follow Gibby.
Anyone that
Gibby,
looks at photos on the Twitter, Instagram, website, a lot of them are taken by Gibby. So Gibby's a great photographer as well.
Yeah.
A few more things we've got to cover off before we go. Linger's goal,
I have it here. I didn't want to bring positive Lingers up. I feel like we laid that one to rest, and it was a dignified ceremony where he just walked off into the sunset, and that was that. But he's gone and kicked probably goal of the year.
That's phenomenal.
So I'm going to have to bring positive Lingers back.
The best thing about it all is he drives a 1960s 1966 Land Rover.
It's a Jeep.
And he might get a new car.
Wow, of course. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
And what was it last year? We did...
He drives the most environmentally poor car.
The worst for the environment. Spews.
Yeah, drinking a keep cup on the way.
Yeah, he makes me sick. Let's not go into why he makes me sick again. We've already done that. Listen to past episodes for that. Podcast. But I do remember last year when I think Liam Ryan or was it someone else took a hanger on you. It might have been Cody Waitman.
Liam Ryan was here before. It was Waitman and Georgiadis, and we were voting for Jack Rewalt.
And we got a real strong social media push for anyone but Gawny for the mark of the year. I think it's not out of the realms of the possibility here where we can fire positive Lingers back up and get the momentum straight behind him and he'll win goal of the year. Did you know Fox Footy tweeted or Instagrammed, hashtagged positive Lingers in their thing? So the brand recognition's there. Okay. He's got the goal. He's got the actual substance to win the goddamn thing.
I think it's growing itself without us talking about it now, which is good.
But let's pour gasoline on the fire. Let's get this thing going.
Listen to the podcast.
Fox Footy do listen to the podcast. Yeah, because Angus had a nightmare a couple of weeks ago. Another thing I want to talk about, Big Sexual.
The Big Sexy. God, he's good looking.
That's his nickname purely because he's the best looking person we've ever seen in our life. Like a Shawn Michaels Heartbreak Kid. What does he call himself? The sexy boy.
No, that's his intro.
He's the Heartbreak Kid. And to be fair, Weeds loves wrestling and probably should be called the Heartbreak Kid as well.
But he also treats Jamie incredibly. Would never break Jamie's heart, so it sort of loses its practical application.
Fiancé now.
Yeah, fiancé, of course.
Gibby's invited, but apparently someone isn't that found out on this podcast that he wasn't. We won't go into that.
Let's leave that skeleton.
To mention it 3 times.
Yep.
Let's leave the skeleton in the closet.
4-3, missed his first, which is never good when you're back into the team. You just want to kick that first. But when he kicked that goal, it was his second setty. And all of us got around him. That was it was a magical moment. And I actually said in our chat yesterday, I said that's one of the best moments I've had on the football field. And then I said in the last 5 weeks, because I did have a very good moment 6 weeks ago in a grand final.
Yeah.
6 games ago. But so good to see him back. Obviously creates a bit of a headache with Tommy, Benny Brown, Bailey, Jacko, myself. There's a few tools in there.
Yeah. Good problem to have. I think
problem to
his 50th game as well, which was, he's been waiting a long time for that. The best looking 50 games that's ever been played by an AFL footballer. And a ripping friend of the podcast as well. Ripping fella. Very,
Friend
very
of
happy
Gibby's.
for Big Sexy.
2 more things.
Sure.
Danielle's birthday this week.
It is.
What are you thinking?
Yep. This is a tough one.
Is it a big milestone?
I can break this down for as long as short as we want. I've got early in the innings, just playing the V.
Yeah.
My straight bat defensive is historically like a Riedel glass. She drinks gin and tonic, so I got some champagne glasses, and we've got more glassware in our house than you can poke a stick at. And I'm really I can't. She doesn't drink whiskey. I can't get whiskey glasses. I'm out of glasses.
And what's
Maybe
next?
we get this going, and I hope she still doesn't. She might be listening to the podcast. Our podcast listeners. Send in everything. No idea's a bad idea. She's turning 26.
26.
So not a massive milestone.
No, not a massive milestone.
No budget, because if Danielle's listening, there's not a budget, so as expensive as you like. Send all your ideas in, because
What day is it?
it's the 12th of April.
Okay, so we got a bit of time still.
What's the date today? The 4th. Yeah, I've got a week.
Yeah.
So that'll be funny.
The last point.
You got any ideas? Sorry.
Sorry, any ideas?
You're a Romeo.
26, Jess, 26. Oh, the tickets are good. Tickets to a concert or comedy fest is going on at the moment.
Nice. Nice. That's good from you. But still, please send everything in.
Firstly, there's actually 2 to finish here. Stefan competed in Run for the Kids. Well
How'd you
done,
go?
Stefan, but I hate you because you ruined my Sunday.
Oh, the traffic was...
I get Run for Kids for a beautiful cause, and I'm glad that it was happening, but it took me 3 hours to get from Punt Road to Amy Park, which is
COVID's
on
funny,
Punt
and
Road.
the Run for Kids should find another place to do it.
Yeah, Carlton Hawthorn on at the same time, 70,000 the G, and Melbourne Storm decided to play at Amy Park. So that was an absolute nightmare, but well done on your Run for the Kids.
Well done.
And lastly,
Sure.
we talked about Stafford and Wayne Campbell.
We did.
You remember that? Last week, our staff said he doesn't talk to anyone. He just focuses on coaching.
Yeah.
He focuses on his players and gives them the world in that 2 hours. And anyone that does go talk to people,
Judgment.
Staff's off them.
Aggressive
Staff's off
judgment, sure.
I've got a photo of your reaction to this next one.
them. About 5 minutes before we run out. So everyone is like top of their game, like right up.
Possibly be, yeah, go
Right
on.
up. Staff and Richo are having a chin wag in the back corner. Richo's obviously there as a commentator, and Staff's having a chin wag with him.
We probably need to give Staff a right to reply at some point, because he's had 2. If from your perspective, and I'm not calling you a liar, this looks horrendous. He needs to have an excuse for this, because that I remember seeing that as well, and I saw your reaction. I obviously don't have a camera to photograph it, but boy, I got a kick out of it. He's got to have an excuse, because you're right. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
He's gone pretty hard.
Who are we playing Port? Oh, I'm trying to think if they've got a Richmond assistant coach.
They must.
Probably will, when he'll go say hi to him. Probably during the game this time.
Oh, gee, that's funny. Great way to end the podcast, which has been a good one.
Thank you, Green Zone, Termite.
Barriers. And thank you, Max Gorn, for coming on.
Gibby, thank you,
you.
guys.